Welcome everybody to the 2022 Mazda MX-5 RF GT. Long name, small car, but there's so much to explore about this car. I can't wait to tell you more about this car. The Miata has always been the answer, but is it? Let's find out in this video. The MX-5 has always been the definitive small car, sports car, if you can put it that way. You know, it's always got the convertible and it's always been fun to drive. This is no different. As you can see, it's extremely small. It's much smaller than everything else on the road, and while driving it, you really feel it. The front end, again, it's very minimalistic. The Mazda design theme is just got a grille and very small headlights and very thin DRLs in the bumper. The front end resembles that, very famous meme, the cat face meme. It's actually true. People have made memes with the Miata and the cat face, and it actually resembles a lot. But it's again a very smart looking car, and Mazda has pulled off the front looking aggressive theme while maintaining the minimalistic theme very well. The side profile is where you can see the RF part. So the Miata or the MX-5 has always been a soft top convertible. For the ND, they introduced the RF, so which is basically like a Targa top. So only the middle part falls away, like most you can see in a 911 Targa. The lower variants of the MX-5 have the proper soft top still, so you can still have it fold down. Lower variants have it manually, and some variants also have an electric fabric roof folding. This is the RF, this is the Targa top. I do prefer the soft top because that is the essential convertible, the essential MX-5 feel. But again, this looks good and it's really growing on me. Otherwise, you've got the 17-inch BBS rims, which is part of the Grand Sport package, and the red Brembo calipers you can see peeking out from the rims. Otherwise, it's very clean, very nice silhouette. Again, it's small, it's visible in the wheelbase, and the height is also very low, which is even more prominent from the side profile. The rear of the MX-5 again has the same minimalistic theme that Mazda has implemented so well. It's got very sleek little tail lights and even smaller reverse lights integrated into the bumper. The boot, the tailgate itself is really small, and as you can see with the roof down, the rear window space is even smaller. But again, it looks good. It's encashes on the little small package that Mazda has been selling the MX-5 for so long successfully, and I think it's a good looking rear end of the car. Now I'm inside the Mazda MX-5, and as you can see, it's small outside, but it's even smaller inside. I'm 5'8" and a bit of a heavy build, and I'm really tightly spaced inside here. My knees touch both sides when I'm driving. Many times my knees, I'm tightly snug inside. There's not much more adjustment left for the seats around me, so this is what it is. But everything else is nice. It's very driver centric, so you've got the little nice manual gearbox. This is a manual car, but the gear lever itself is very stubby, very small, very short in length, and the throws are extremely short, so it's nice. It's very driver centric. You've got a very big old school handbrake, which you don't see anymore these days. You've got MMI controls for the screen. This is partial touchscreen, so some functions work with touch, some don't, for Apple CarPlay especially, and the resolution might not be the best. You've got 4 AC vents, 2 for that side, 2 for this side with a hazard button, and manual rotary AC knobs. Though there is an auto mode for the airflow and the fan speed, but it's all old school rotary. You do have a small button to open and close the roof, and heated seats. The steering wheel is very tiny, it's very thin. You've got thumb contours, cruise control buttons, no adaptive cruise, just regular cruise. But you do have basic cruise control. You got aluminium and leather. That's it. Very thin steering wheel. On the door, you do have the same accents from the door, so this would vary according to what body color you pick the car. If it's red, this would be red. I think that would look good. You do have some orange stitching because this is as I said, the Grand Sport package, the $3,500 option. So you get the 17-inch rims with the Brembo brakes and this, Napa leather interior with the tan color with the white stitching. I think it looks pretty good, though it might look better with another exterior color, if I can say so. You do have cup holders. So this is the actual cup holder position. I cannot imagine driving and trying to pick something to drink. However, if you don't have a passenger, you can put in a cup holder here, and this is a cup holder. But this is accessible for the driver, but as a passenger, their legs will be so cramped. So it's better to just, leave it here when you have a friend, but it's inaccessible. You do not have any glove box because this car is so small. So there is a storage where you can put in your stuff in the back, and that's really it. There is nothing else where you can store anything around here. You have sun visors which are hilariously small, perhaps the smallest sun visors that I've ever seen. They do a good job because the car isn't that tall, so it does block the sun, but again, space is a constraint here. This car is about being nimble and small, and Mazda has really stuck true to the whole theme of being small and compact in here. Now I'm behind the wheel of the Mazda MX-5. Let's see how this car drives. So we put it to first. It's a manual gearbox, and you realize low end torque is not the best, but it picks up after 2,500 RPM. The car has a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated engine that produces about 185 horsepower. The car weighs very less. It's about 1,200 kilos, which is really light in today's standard. So combine the 180 horsepower with the 1,200 kilos. Make sure that this car does 0 to 100 in under 7 seconds, which is really fast for this, this sort of chassis, because it's really small. I mean, and plus, driving a manual after, because manuals are literally dying for the market. So every time you just want to downshift, and then you have the engine note. I don't know how much of the engine note is visible, but there is so much noise, and obviously, it's a convertible. It's best driven with the roof down. There's no point driving with the roof up. That's what I personally believe. But yeah, punch is really good, and it pulls really well through the gears. The gearbox, the gear lever is very short, the throw is very short, but it's very accurate. It's a little on the notchy side. I wish it was a bit more smooth, especially if you want to shift quickly. It's a bit notchy, so it could do a bit more smoothly. But yeah, it slots in very accurately. It's very nice to hold actually, and you can actually hold it nice and quick, shift through the gear really quickly. The handling is top notch, if I can say that. It's a very overrated dialogue that Miatas, MX-5s handle really beautifully, but they do. They actually handle so well. The steering feel is actually telepathic, if I can say that. You can just accurately pinpoint the car in a corner, and you would know what the car is doing. This is a rear wheel drive, but the car does not step out. It does not have that much amount of crazy power that the car just steps out or snaps on you mid corner. It's very controlled. Even if it wants to let go, it let goes very gradually, which you can control. I know this is a short wheelbase, so when it snaps, and it can be difficult to control. But it's not the case with the MX-5. You can actually control slides. The traction control, if you keep it on, helps you, come back to line with a small slide, so you can have just the right amount of fun. But yeah, also this being a natural aspirate, you have to bring through the gears and to rev the engine to make the car slide. Lower down the rev range, this car will not slide. It has good grip as well. This Bridgestone Potenza, the summertime that this car comes with. Again, it's all about driving. This car is just get in and drive. You do not have creature comfort, you do not have adaptive cruise control, you do not have auto air conditioning, you do not have cool seats, but you just get in, push the button, start the car and drive. No pumped-in engine noises as well. All natural engine noises that you hear from the engine, the exhaust, the intake, all natural. And honestly, you do not get this anymore these days in the market. And Mazda has done so well to stick to its core attributes so well.
In conclusion then, the Mazda MX-5 or the Miata, well, they say don't meet your heroes, it's gonna be disappointing. But honestly, after living with this vehicle and driving it around, especially with the top down and this manual gearbox, it's extremely fun. At around $35,000 to $40,000 depending on whatever the markup pricings these days, what the dealers are asking for, it's a great package, and I can see why this name is so iconic in the automotive fraternity.